Just kidding. It's this kind of order, y'all. Panelverse all week long. Welcome. Brown chicken, brown cow. Hey Moose, hey Frequency. So to start the day off, happy Monday, another week of growth and drama. But to start the week off, I pulled up the headlines today. The gays are here to stay. The Supreme Court just refused to hear the latest challenge to the gay marriage ruling, the Kim Davison case. They said, nope, we're done. It's settled. And I want to give personal thanks and appreciation because when I was a marriage equality advocate, that's all we were fighting for. And there was a lot of support from non-gay people, from straight people. I know a lot of you have been supportive. People have gay children. They have gay family members. And ultimately, I think people want people they care about to be happy and not suffer. And if it looks like gay relationships or gay marriages lead to happiness and not suffering, that was the big fear, that society would collapse if we opened this gate. And it didn't. And all the new stuff has nothing to do with my generation that was just fighting for inclusion in the institution of marriage. Hey, Plasma. And so I think this is a good kind of normal mainstream position for the United States to take on this issue. And I've always done my part to honor the support I've gotten from people by trying to be a good gay, trying to be part of society, trying to support straight people just like they support me, trying to be pro-family, all of that stuff. I didn't come in to disrupt. I came in to be included in the institution because I believe in it, and I want to support it for everybody. Same with religion. Just because I became a Satanist, I thought I would be fighting with Christians. I thought that's what Satanists did, but what it actually taught me was I have a religion now, so all people with a religion are my allies, and what we're fighting against are the people without religion that don't understand what it's like to have religion. And so I started relating more to Christians just based on this religious connection. So I think it's kind of the same with marriage. Everybody who's able to participate in marriage has a connection with each other, and they're all motivated to protect that institution. And I'm glad that gay people in the modern world are getting to be part of that, and I've been trying to do my part to keep it protected. And yes, I would like to be gay married one day myself. So I am single if there's a trad husband out there that can put up with me and handle me. That's the big barrier, actually. Oh, thank you, Marty. I love all these mystery people. Wow. Oh, and another news, and then I'll talk a little bit and drop the link. YouTube has this new feature with, yes, thank you, exactly what I was about to say. They rolled it out this morning. And you can stream on vertical now. Remember I used to do my fireside chats? And you can stream on normal, like we do, computer, this, at the same time. But it does it as two separate posts. So you're going to see two episodes from me every time I schedule them, because one is going to the vertical and one is going to the normal. Who is Laura Southern? Does that mean he's single? Let me go check him out. I don't know her. Canadian alt-right YouTuber. All right, let's see. Who's the husband? Wow, she got banned from 3 countries. Are you sure it's the husband? Andrew Tate? Can I get the short version from AI Not Lost? Oh, do you think it's two chats? I didn't even check. Fuck. Okay, I gotta figure this out. How do I do this? Oh yeah, okay, so let's tech troubleshoot for a little bit. And then I'll talk about what I want to talk about today. By the way, the contest is afoot. We have 14 Panelverse Titans, champions, wannabe Titans, and various other rankings, all competing this week. We've paired up. We have 7 teams. We have a week to come up with a project together, and we're going to premiere it next Sunday. We have a team of judges already in place, and we're ready to go. We're going to have the 2025 Panelverse champion collaboration next week. So this week is going to be dedicated to surviving the Panelverse. What I'm learning about the Panelverse is it is not any one person. Nobody has control, or we may have influence over it, but nobody has ultimate control of it. It's not a hierarchy like a traditional hierarchy. It's something else. And it's controlled, if by anything, by a force greater than any one person. It's more of a process, even, than a network or a community. And if you can learn how to work with this process, I'm discovering there might be some gold in there. So that's what we're going to learn this week. We're going to learn how to master this process, or at least not be mastered by it. And during the workshop part, during the day, we're going to develop some tools to work with the Panelverse. So stay tuned for that. All right, let me check out this vertical. Because I don't use vertical at all. It means nothing to me. I hardly use my phone, period. I'm the pre-phone generation. So if I go on my channel, yes, there are 2 streams. And there's different amounts of people watching each one. I wonder if StreamYard feeds me this is going to be very confusing, and a lot of streamers are going to be trying this because they just rolled it out. So you're going to be seeing double streams throughout the day. Look, we got Al Capone here blessing us, or those tombstones, who knows. All right, so I think StreamYard is combining the comments. So to me it looks like one chat, but let me. All right. And the other problem is when I go to my page, the 2 streams look identical to me. Oh, there's a little vertical icon on one of them. Okay, I see. It's my big head blown up full screen. Moose is on the vertical. Oh, okay, that's what's happening. StreamYard is putting it all into one chat for me, but it's not. Oh, there is a little logo actually. If I look really closely, it's in gray to show me which comments are coming from the vertical. Okay, this works. I can, not that I even need, you're just one audience to me. I don't even need to keep it straight. So it kind of splits the community then. It has half of you in one room and half of you in the other. I don't like that. I might just, this is an experiment. I might go back to the old way. Right. Yeah, I see the problem. I see the problem. I don't think I can stop it in midstream. But next time I set one up, I will definitely not do this split vertical thing. I don't gain a lot from the vertical side of YouTube anyway. So if y'all can put up with it this one time, I'll try to keep pulling comments from both groups. And we can interact. This is kind of a cool little experiment because it's the audience interacting from 2 different rooms. And the only place they can meet is on the screen. So I'm in control of the information flow between the 2 rooms. This is giving me ideas for games. All right, Panelverse. We're going to take it slow. We have all week to kind of dip into it. Also, I've taken a position on the competition versus community tension that I was feeling all day yesterday. See, like this. We could have our own secret conversation about them that they would never know until they realize they could pull up the other vertical screen themselves and just read the rest of the comments. That's empowerment. It's also panel savvy. So we're going to take this slow and take all week to kind of learn about this. But here's what I've decided with the competition thing. I think for my own mental health, for the mental health of everyone around me in the Panelverse, I need to dial down the competition switch just a little bit. My larger goal here is community. This contest is part of trying to build community. So I don't need to be my own saboteur and become so hyper competitive that I lose the community spirit of this. I think what I need to do, me and Goblin, is focus on our project, making that the best we can. Don't worry about what the competition's doing. Don't worry about sabotaging them, undermining them, spying on them, infiltrating all of that. It's going to be hard, but I think I can do it. And so I'm going to put my effort into just making my project good. And I'm going to continue to be here to be of service. I'm going to continue to help people grow. And if that helps my competition with their projects, oh well. In a way, I'm competing against myself through other people. Oh, that was the other headline. It looked like the shutdown was, that some of the Dems were starting to cross over. Okay. A big news day all the way around. We got the gays back. We got the government back. We got the Panelverse back. We're entering a new era. Let's see all the positive stuff we could do with it. So the very first thing, this is the lesson we're going to start with. And for men especially, I think this is hard. I can't speak to women. Somebody could weigh in. Not even Panelverse, but I think just to life in general. We bring a lot of will that we're not even realizing we're bringing. It's the tyrant archetype that we talked about when we were talking about Saturn and the Dark Father and drawing those really firm boundaries and the steel that doesn't bend. All of that. I'll speak for myself, but I'm noticing in a lot of other people too. I have expectations of other people that I don't realize I have until they don't meet them. And then I go into an absolute fury. And I start to try to figure out why. And then I realize it's because I'm a control freak. I'm a tyrant. I am expecting these people to act according to the plan I have laid out for them. They're like pieces on a game board. And I know exactly how I need them to move at any given time. I know their growth arc, their story arc, all of that. I have them figured out. And I even form relationships and connections with them based on their predictability, based on their ability to conform to these expectations. So the ones that continue to do what I expect them to do are the ones I feel connected to because they're operating like they're supposed to. But that's not how people are. That's definitely not how the Panelverse is. And that's not even what I preach on this thing. That's not the value I bring to autonomy, individuality, personal agency, self-determination. What the hell is this control freak stuff? And so when I have that reaction, I'm learning to look at myself and say, okay, what are you trying to control here? This is your ego. This is your will. This is you being a tyrant. People are not obligated to bend to your will. They are not obligated to do things like I think they should do them, or to live their life or make the choices that I think they should live, based on my expectations or my knowledge of who I think they are. So I'm learning that there's like fantasy version of the people here, and then the people who they actually are outside of my control. And when the fantasy version collides with the real version, you get that that ready to go to war, ready to fight, because they're not doing what I think they're supposed to do based on who I think they are. That's a form of control. What I'm learning about the Panelverse is when that happens, I'm not going to win. I'm not going to be able to impose my will on this medium. It is just not going to happen. There's going to be a backlash from reality itself, panel reality. When those moments happen, when you're feeling those emotions about the Panelverse, do a couple of things. Check in with yourself. Is it because I'm trying to control? Is it because I have this fantasy version of what should be happening that's not happening, and I'm trying to double down on that and shape the Panelverse to that fantasy? Because we do two things with our ideals, just as humans, and I think it's part of our amazing creative ability as humans. We try to kind of impose our ideals on reality. We try to bring the world in line with our ideals as much as we can. And we try to adapt our ideals to the world that we actually encounter. So it's a dialectical process that we're constantly engaged in. We're doing both. And so I think there's a limit in the Panelverse to how much you can raise it to any particular ideal that you bring to it. No one person has that power. Give it up. I think a certain amount of powerlessness, which is hard, especially for men. Although I see people give away their power here left and right constantly. So there's something going on with that. You have to be willing to lay down a sword, lay down a shield, loosen up the armor. You're not going to survive if you don't. It's like surfing. It's like you have to ride the wave. You cannot control the wave and tell it what to do. You have to be prepared to adapt to that wave. You have to bend when you need to. You have to give up control when you need to. You have to give up power when you need to, even creative power. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm great. I'm very good. So the first lesson, that impulse to control comes from dominance. And I'm learning that I have a lot of that as an alpha. I used to call myself an alpha sub, but I think alpha brat is a much more accurate description. So as an alpha brat, I'm very dominant. I'm always trying to control things. And I think it comes from me thinking that I'm smarter than everybody else and I have things figured out. And the person that has things figured out is the person entitled to control them because they know more about them than everybody else. But I don't have the Panelverse people figured out. I barely know them. I haven't taken the time to get to know them. There's no way I could know them enough to think I could control them. And one of the very first principles we learned in peer counseling, in fact, you can't be any kind of helping profession at all without this one basic ingredient. You have to get to know your client. You can't go in there with preconceived ideas about what they need, what their goal should be, what their problem is. You have to put all that aside and you have to let them reveal themselves to you. And then you work with that. And I'm good at that part. Like if I'm working with clients, I'm good at that. All right, see, this is what happens with the vertical. This is another reason. Yeah, I'm not liking this vertical thing at all. You mean I'm a softie? I'm a pushover? Not for what I'm hearing. I could be more of a pushover. And I guess that's my point, not less. You have to let yourself, you have to learn to be a pushover. You have to learn to submit. You can't dominate. You have to be aware of when you're trying to dominate. And I think it's a perfectly normal impulse for a lot of us. And when we have a lot of people all trying to exercise that dominance instinct, you're going to get something like the Panelverse. But if you want to succeed, and this is not to weaken you, this is not to make you less of a man, anything. This is to give you a strategy tip, a tool for personal growth. If you want to win here, you have to learn how to submit at the right time. Not necessarily to a person. You don't have to necessarily submit to somebody else's will or somebody else's version of reality. You can still have your own will, your own intention, your own idea of what you want to do. You can still have your understanding of reality. That's not what you're submitting to. Sometimes it is. Sometimes your version of reality is wrong or incomplete. Nobody has the full picture here. We talked about that the other day. You're submitting to a process greater than yourself. I'm trying to find ways to describe it. It's like an artistic process. When you're working on a song and you think you know what kind of song you're going to make, but then other ideas come to you that just are better, and you end up having to submit to those instead of what you were trying to create, and it makes the song better. It's that kind of process. It's a creative process. If you're fighting with somebody and you have war and beef going, and your instinct is to fight with that person, you might miss opportunities. It kind of is. I don't know how familiar you are with the Panelverse because y'all are probably coming from the vertical side, but it's a sector of YouTube that has a lot of fighting and conflict and drama. And we just made peace for way longer than I thought we would. And so I'm trying to take the opportunity to use the peace constructively. We have a contest where we're all collaborating on creative projects together and to learn from the peace and see how we can. This is Panelverse 2.0. There's been a clearing of the ground, and we're trying to make our community better. We're upgrading. We don't want to live in a ghetto, what is it, the broken window theory thing anymore. We want to live in a happening, creative community. No, is there a gay side? Ooh, lead the way, Raven. Especially if there's a gay kink side, speaking of dominance and submission. And yes, there is a, for those that come from that world like myself, that is an analogy to this. But I'm not touching on it too much because I want people to get comfortable with submitting when they need to. They can think of it as yielding. There's a power in yielding at the right time. It's not weakness. It's another form of empowerment. And I think learning to do that. So the first tool that we need is a way to assess that process and when to bend, when to yield. Yeah, maybe this. And there's also gray rocking, which is another useful skill in the Panelverse because we've got a lot of narcs, a lot of paths, a lot of cluster bees. But it's whatever you're trying to do here. This was the clue for me. Whatever you are trying to do here, and everybody comes with their own goal, their own agenda. It's a creative space. It's an open canvas. If that is not happening, if you find that you're pushing and it's not manifesting and there's something pushing back, you're being a control freak. There's something greater at you at work here. There's a lesson in it for you, but also there's an outcome better than what you're trying to achieve. You just don't know it yet. Don't fight it. If you feel yourself fighting to achieve your goal here, stop. At that moment, the minute you recognize you're fighting, just stop. You don't have to do anything, just pause and assess. Do that problem solving thing we talked about last week. What am I working with here? What's going on? Another important skill, and maybe we'll talk about this one at the next episode, is being able to listen to feedback from others because nobody has the full perspective here. We're all working with partial reality. So you have to be able to take in data from other people and process it. Also, trust, building trust. So I think I'll drop the link. We can talk more about the dominance and submission. I'm kind of an expert on that. And when to do it. And I think that's one of the very first things I'm learning about this place is you can't come in here all headstrong and know it all. Or all like I have this master vision and here's what's going to happen. You have to back up, back out, go out the door, come back in, and take a completely different approach. So I think all that is to say there is a small little learning curve, or maybe for some of us, a large learning curve. That's kind of the price of entry into using the Panelverse effectively instead of becoming its bitch and getting sucked into its drama spirals. Because nobody owes you anything here. We are all here for our own reasons, our own thing, our own goals. We're on our own journey. Nobody has to think, do, believe, act like I think they should. I don't owe that to anybody. I don't feel like I do, and I rarely give in to it. Oh, we got some Jesus talk. I'm trying to learn about Jesus. In fact, I want to do a stream with the freak. He's our Jesus freak. Our troll for Jesus. Okay, we may have a guest. You have to cam up in the back so I can see that you're not one of our trolls, which you're probably not, but I need to do a check. You don't have to keep your cam on. And then if you have a channel, drop it in the back, and I'll get a sense of who you are. We like to vet the newcomers. And in the meantime, let me do some little spying of my own. Well, this vertical thing is bringing in new faces, but it's oh, a knife review channel. That's very interesting. Let's oh, that's a beautiful handle. I'm looking at your chart. This voice sounds familiar. Oh, are you Irish? All right. Well, he dropped, so yeah, we have a lot of problem with trolls here. So when new people try to come on, there's a few little hoops they have to jump through. But here, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will drop your channel. If you're into knives, this guy has the channel for you. Here, let me grab it. The creator of the creator of the creator. I think that's us. I think we created God. I think he's a literary character. And so in a way, we would be the creator of that creator, which is usually who people mean by the creator. But who created us? I don't know. Were we created? Did we emerge? Did we evolve? Does this look like evolution to you? I guess it does if you go back far enough to the sludge. We're better than slime mold. I mean, you could at least say that about humans, right? Or can you? Slime mold might cooperate a little better than humans. Oh Lord, there's a bunch of people trying to come on. I don't know if. Oh, okay. Well, this guy had me fooled. This one's vetted. Oops, sorry, wrong button.
Oh my God!
Are you still lost?
It's David Wayne.
Who's David? I don't know David Wayne. I hear like lore of him, but I've never had the pleasure. What's up? Are you in your car? You look like you're in an RV. Is that your room? What's going on? Is this part of your project? I see a lot of the Landry in it, but not a lot of the Joe Cool. Are you stoned? Is that his part? Get Landry stoned. That's the Joe Cool collaboration. All right, this is intense. See, I have to submit to this right now. I have no idea what's going on. This is Landry dominating with silence and stillness and a chink of light and the stealth exit. Yeah, Raven, go ahead and flash your camera real quick so I can see who you are, because we get a lot of troll impersonators. You don't have to cam up live, but I need to be able to see you in the back. And then I'll use an overlay and bring you on. Oh, well, you know how many times I've heard that excuse? I don't know, Shameless. He's been doing some ever since we started this contest. He's been popping on this stream and not talking and showing videos or typing stuff in the chat and just doing weird little performance art things. And it honestly has me intrigued. I don't know if it's part of the project. I don't know if it's a new Landry angle that he's working. I'm here. I'm here for it. Curiosity is my weakness. I'm gonna submit to it for now. That's one thing about dominance and submission, at least with me. I have the luxury of being able to submit because I can turn that dominance on like a switch. I'm not worried that I can't default back to my dominance anytime I need to. So it's kind of low risk for me to submit. All right, Raven, I'll take a chance on you. Can you at least drop your channel? Oh, wait, I think I have it up. I do. All right, we're going to hear from the knife dude. I'm not into knife collecting, and I don't want to talk about it too much because I have to babysit my channel for the advertisers. But we can have Frank, they rolled out this vertical thing where you can stream in vertical and normal at the same time, and we're getting this whole other channel of new vertical people, and they're all weird, and they probably think I'm even more weird. Like we have Knife Guy in the back. Let's bring him on. I need to get a new overlay too. But for now we'll use our troll overlay. All right. Let's welcome Raven Spirits. All right, Raven, you're live.
Hey, Jeff, you faggoty bitch.
See? All right. You got me there. Accurate. That was good, though. I admire the persistence. I admire the persistence. See, this is the kind of stuff you have to submit to here. So that was a troll for all of you newcomers. Raven's Blades, Spirit Blades. You can check out his channel. He has 25 whole subscribers and one video. So this is the reputation he's building for himself here on YouTube. But I am a faggoty bitch. I admit to that. I've talked about it many times. I've done streams on it, which reminds me, oh my God, dude. Jazzercise. I was all prepared this morning. I got my workout shorts on. We're going. We're doing it. Here, let's take a jazzercise break. Thank you, Raven Blades, for the troll. It reminded me to jazzercise. Let's get the music going. We got tunes now too. Why don't we do some boogie shoes? I'm the mod. These are new people. It's the vertical stream. They have a. Hang on. Let me. say it one more time because I feel like it's important. Exactly. I am my own mod. Be your own mod. All right, let's get this person out of here. I should do a mod though if I'm at a jazzercise. Who volunteers? Who's a trusted person that can handle these trolls? Frank? Troll knows troll. Plus, I have to mod in 2 different chats, so I need somebody from the vertical and somebody from the horizontal. Eddie, do you think you could mod? I mean, just real quick, I could always remove it later, just to handle the vertical stuff. All right, we got Eddie, who is a fucking Viking. Y'all are doomed, trolls. And then Frank, you think you could step up? There's nobody knows troll like you. I trust you. Although my main channel doesn't really get trolled a lot. These are all vertical trolls. Because I got my boogie shoes on and they're not going to stay still for very long. All right, Frank, I'm going to conscript you. We can fight about it later. But you're my new troll mod. Frank with the wrench. Submit. This is a good exercise. And also Moose if he's around. But I don't want to, if he's at work, I don't want to add extra. All right. Back to our jazzercise. And thank you, mods, very much. See, I even got overconfident, thinking I didn't need mods. Shameless, if you go, the way I did it, I went to my page and it had 2 streams playing. And one of them has a little tiny vertical logo next to it. That's how you could tell. Otherwise, they look identical. I hope so. And Jesus. I know I'm finding some kind of spirit through AI. No, Frank, don't time out anybody. Only the trolls. And yes, Notlaz is a troll, but he has troll immunity today. He's earned it. And if anyone wants to join the jazzercise, come on up. You can start your morning dancing on YouTube with a faggoty bitch. How many times do you get a chance to do that? Every day now. Do a twirl with A, I'm going to be terrible at a twirl, and B, with these headphones. Y'all, this is bliss. Talk about health. Just give it a try. Submit. If you can submit to this, you can submit to the Panelverse. Also, we have, I do a midday stream, which is kind of like a workshop problem-solving stream. And so if there is any panel drama or conflict, y'all can bring it there. We can problem-solve it too. Before it gets inflamed. Because if you leave it on its own, it will be like a wildfire. But if you have tools to manage it and learn from it and grow from it, then you can have Panelverse 2.0. And hello to all my new vertical people. I was not expecting this when I woke up. Tell your friends. We're a personal growth channel, believe it or not. We help people become better. Better people, better leaders, better fathers, better husbands, better YouTubers, and better artists. And we have fun doing it. Or at least I do. Yes, Frank, enjoy the power while you have it. This is a emergency situation I got myself into that I have to now submit to. Oh! Here is my collaborator. I can't wait to figure out what we're doing. Oh, is that it? All right. Ooh. All right. Boogie over. We're gonna do little bursts of jazzercise throughout the morning. How about that? All right. I think it might be time for a cow and chicken break, if there is any. And you're right, Frank. I do think that we should elevate your genre from piss music. I think you've gone far beyond mere piss music at this point. So, what's something else we could call your stuff? Let me go to your channel. Another thing we do here is we have some amazing artists that do AI songs, videos. We have people that do actual art and craft stuff, and they come here and they show it. So this is a place for creative people to come and share their stuff. All right, I don't see any new cow and chicken. Oh, Chinese cow. There is a new cow and chicken. Yeah, we going to China today. All right, I'm gonna get a refill. This is an intermission. You can enjoy the. Frank is don't be don't hang on. Don't underestimate the cutesiness of it. This is serious art. Frank is a budding artistic AI genius. So here we go. Chinese cow. Wow, who knew I could jazzercise to this one too? Frank. I wish you'd come on panel. I would love to have an episode with just you and dig into your creative process and the psyche that is just Frank. That's what growing up was like with because music was my escape, like all the different musical artists. And the thing that drew me in was if I liked their music, I got really curious about them as people. And I would want to know who they are. Who is this fascinating person creating this song that's given me this very complex form of pleasure? And I would read magazines. I would go to the bookstore in the mall and I would stand at the magazine section and just read articles about all the different musicians and interviews because I wanted to know them as people because I was so fast. It was their work that was pulling me into their psychology and who they were. And so it was like a parasocial way of getting to know other people that I would not have the opportunity to get to know in my little small town. No, we're not anti-religion. I am a Christian Satanist and satirist too, and spiritual person. And I defend all religions. I defend religious freedom. People have the right to determine their beliefs for themselves, walk their own spiritual paths, and if I want that freedom from other people, I need to grant it to other people. So this is a very religion friendly, religion positive channel. In fact, I'm on a quest to find Christ myself. I've been looking for him. I use both. I draw on the whole myth because Satanism is a part of Christian mythology, and you get the whole range if you draw on like I was a Satanist for many years, and then recently we had an incident in the Panelverse, and things started to become very dark, and I had to like switch to the light because I felt like I was the only person that was still holding on to some kind of positive value, and there was like a big shift inside of me where I started to want to leave the darkness and find that light. And so it's all of it. I have all of it in me. And I need a religion and a spirituality that addresses the whole range. So Christian Satanism. Yeah, see? Goblin, maybe we can do a project on religion. I don't know if the other team. Ooh, we shouldn't be collaborating publicly in front of our competitors, should we? We'll talk. Really? People they're looking for community, they're looking for structure, they're looking for meaning, and the Catholic Church has been doing that for like what, thousands of years? Sometimes here's where I'm at with that without getting too woo and metaphysical. This larger panel YouTube process, creative process I'm talking about, it is definitely larger than any one person. So whatever it is, if it's just consciousness or human intersubjectivity or however that works, wherever this process is when these humans get together, that's like one step higher than an individual human. So that's as close as my mind can get to kind of there's something that connects us all or is bigger than us all. Who knows? I might find God through the Panelverse. Yeah, and the devil has very little actual power. He can't really force you to do anything. He can you have to make the choice. You have to use your agency and your autonomy. All he can do is influence you and try to persuade you to make the choice he wants you to make. Which that's kind of how a democracy works. I was worried about that too. A couple of years ago, my mom came to visit, and it was the holidays, and she said, "You know, Jeff, for Christmas this year, the one thing I want from you, the best present you could give me, is to come to Catholic Mass with me on Christmas Day." I said, "Oh Lord, are you sure you want to risk that?" And she insisted, and I said, "You know what? How hard is that of a gift to give? That's the easiest gift in the world to give. Just go to church with her." "Yeah, I'll do it." And I filmed some of it. I have a little bit of it on video, and I loved it. It was a modernized. The church was very modern. They had a woman altar lady. They have female altar people now. The wording of some of the liturgy was a little different. The priest, I'm pretty sure, was autistic, and he gave a pretty good sermon. I was engaged. And so it was a positive experience. I didn't burst into flames. I even did I got through the holy water and it didn't like corrode my skin or anything. So give it a try. Don't let fear of bursting into flames stop you from finding your way to some meaning in your life, especially you. Plus, you know what else, Frank? It's going to make great art. Where's that Mozart one, by the way? Oh, okay. Well, good thing I have you here to educate me. That's another thing I'm learning from the Panelverse is no one person has the full truth. And if somebody's trying to convince you they do, step away because they don't. We all have pieces of the picture. None of us have the whole piece. We need to stay in dialogue with each other. All right, Frank. I'm excited. Is it on your channel? Can I just get to it from there? All right. Wait, you're in the vertical? Where are you? Which room are you in? See, I hate this. I'm never doing this again. I'm not doing this split streaming. My little autistic brain can't take it. Muka Apoyo. Is Muka cow? Is this Italian? I lost it. I hate these shorts. It took me to a completely different short. And now I lost it. Frank, can you just pop it to me on Discord? And Canna, how are you in both streams at the same? Oh, you're not. I'm in the vertical. That's why. I'm about to shut this down. This is too frustrating. Submit, submit. Frustration. That's another thing I want to talk about. That feeling that I get, that kind of rage or fury when my fantasy reality clashes with actual reality. I think it's a form of frustration because I get that with my dyspraxia, with when I'm trying to like open something and it's not open, or I'm trying to execute some physical task and I'm having trouble because of my clumsiness and klutziness. I get super frustrated and this like it's kind of like a road rage just comes over me, and I have to take a moment to like reset and discharge it and get back to the task. And so it's like I want reality to do one thing and it's not doing that one thing, so I want to throw it against the wall. And it's me frustrated with myself, my limitations. But I displace it onto whatever it is I'm trying to do. So I think it's a form of that where I'm frustrated because reality is not doing what I want it to do, and it's that same feeling that comes up. And it's a toddler feeling. It goes back to like infant. That's how infants are when they don't get their instant way. But I'm 55 years old. It's time to grow out of that. And so I think it's all of this is a form of frustration of not being able to master reality in a more adult way or a healthier way. And it defaults to that like primitive toddler lizard brain reaction. So it's working yourself out of that and finding constructive alternatives to channel that into. Or it could be a demon. It's very much sometimes feels like a demon. I try not to lead others to hell, even as a Satanist. Are you talking about me? Well, this is what I said. I remember it from the other day. They are the ones more obsessed with race than anybody else and think in racial categories and see everything through racial lenses. And the people on the right that I hang out with, for the most part, don't do that. They don't think in racial categories at all. It never comes up in conversation. No, not false. You're false. Oh my God, Goblin, I can't wait to talk because I've been noticing the same thing. The more I grow, you sometimes outgrow people and situations, so there's those growing pains where it feels like loss, but it's growth. And the more I grow in a positive direction, the negative impulses and temptations increase. They don't go, it's not like I grow out of them, they get more intense along with the growth. And so I have to keep fighting more and more battles with the shadow the more I grow in a positive direction. And that caught me by surprise too. Yeah, but your dogmatic declaration in all caps that something is false is even less reality. So I win that one too. Dominance, submit. Learn when to submit to reality. Oh Lord, that sounds horrible. I think Dante wrote a they had some of those in Dante. Yeah, I believe that. I we have not reached the limit of human potential. We haven't even begun. Look at what we're doing now on this stuff that humans created. And now you can make videos and songs and like instant culture and instant art by just telling a machine what's on your mind and then share it with other people. And that's only the beginning of just AI, which is just one of the things that the human body brain has come up with. I almost don't need God because I can meditate and contemplate on the powers of the human species itself and just be in awe and amazement for the rest of my life. Like I don't even need anything higher than that because that itself is so that's like divine to me. I think so, and I think by coming together creatively, we start to tap into some of that. Like just look at the little who knew that Frank had this amazing musical sensibility in him. Who knew that Moose had this amazing ability to tell stories with AI visuals? Who knew that people had the strengths? They were hanging out in the Panelverse for years. Nobody saw this in them until AI gave them an opportunity to unlock that and start expressing it. So we're seeing new sides of each other that we didn't even know was there. Well, there's that famous quote from Leibniz, I think it is, that music is the pleasure that we get from counting without realizing that we're counting. So there's some kind of pleasure that our brain takes in rhythm and pattern and order. We see it in dancing, movement. Maybe when you're working, like in the early days, our caveman ancestors had to work and have a rhythm. So maybe it's tied to rhythm and the seasons, the day. Our early society was structured by natural rhythm. It didn't have time and the clock and time zones and all that stuff. So everything you had to be aware of the rhythm to everything. He is very talented. He catches a lot of slack, I think, based on old Panelverse baggage, which he went around clearing up, and I think a very mature way. And that was part of what led to this panel piece was individual people deciding I want to heal. I don't want this bullshit drama conflict anymore, and going around and doing something about it by having these adult healing conversations where you can sit with the conflict, you can sit with the emotion, you can acknowledge your part, you can see from other people's perspectives, you can get a better understanding of the situation. All of that is part of those healing conversations that were happening, and that's what made the piece possible. And so far, it's holding. Like There's been a few attempts to kind of wind back the clock, but we'll keep an eye on those. And we're all learning and growing. Oh no, Goblin. That's okay. You make a great point. Knowing when not to submit or dominate, knowing when to walk away. Some of this Panelverse stuff is so far beyond a range that you could do anything useful with that you just have to draw. That's where you draw that boundary or set that standard. And there's people here in the Panelverse, and that's one of them. There is no collaborating. There is no. They're not. I have to insulate that process from that person. They don't add anything useful to the process. So there's like some. I think of them as decoys. They try to decoy people into taking them seriously as potential collaborators or creative outlets, but they're really dead ends. They're like they're there to fool you. And I see people get so easily fooled by them, and to me, they're the most obvious to spot. They're like little flimsy cardboard cutouts pretending to be people, and people fall for them and take them seriously like they actually have something to contribute. And there's a handful, maybe three, four, five, but that's definitely one. So, speaking from my perspective, from I statements, um, I have not found my experience in the Panelverse impacted one bit by isolating these people from my experience at all. I've ignored them for years. Nothing's happened to me. I've had a great time here. They add zero, and I need them for zero. I can just flick them off of the plate and never think about them again. So they are any central to any process from the Panelverse that I am participating in. Now they probably make ripples through other people that affect the process indirectly, but I don't need them for anything, and I am very capable of never ever thinking about them. They're not in my brain. They have no foothold in my brain at all. You too, Canna. I'm glad you stopped by. I like the Jesus for some of that here. And thanks, Frank. You're actually a great mod. There might be advantages to let you hang on to that wrench, especially. No, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to be community oriented. Because if you and I collaborated in the back on how we could tilt this wrench to my advantage in this competition, I'm not going to do that. I committed to a fair game and community or a community orientation. Mike, thank you very much. Um, I don't have a lot of experience with that, and the schools that I taught in, they had the Down syndrome. There was like two special eds. There was like the kind I taught where they could mainstream the kids for part of the day, and then they had a whole separate program for people that had their own educational system completely separate from the classroom. And the Down syndrome people were mostly in that program. And the like severely handicapped, disabled. And that was a different type of special ed. And I didn't do that type. I did the more mainstream special ed. It was just kids that had a unique learning style and they weren't learning from the mainstream style, so they needed that individual attention that could address their learning style. But I do remember growing up in the 90s, I guess around 89 or 90. What was the show called? Was it a different life? With Corky, the Down syndrome actor. And he really did a lot for, I think, Down syndrome acceptance. I've known Down syndrome people, and yeah, Chris Burke. Life goes on. Um, I just take them as people. I talk to them like I talk to anybody else and get to know them as people. Let's see. And it's individual choice. If people in the Panelverse want to stay at that level and that's how they want to operate, they can make that choice. I want to choose something better, and I believe I'm capable of that. So that's the choice I want to make for myself because it feels like the best choice of all of the options. But I can only play my game and make my choices for my life path. I can't make people's choices for them. And that's a lesson I have to learn here. I have to let people make dumb choices. And I have to take the hit and consequences when I make dumb choices. I don't want people protecting me from my dumb choices either. Open the shorts in a new browser. The scroll. Oh, like on your channel? I mean, I guess I could try it. Um, the only problem with that is it makes it harder to share because then you have to share it as a window and not a tab. Or just respect people, but respect is earned. It's not. I can't automatically just give. I can give a general respect, like you're another human on the planet. I respect that we're sharing this space together. But as far as like personal admiration, they have to earn that from me. So it's not automatic, but I can respect everybody's potential ability to earn that. So I don't have to write someone off like right away and say I'm never going to respect. I can at least respect the possibility that respect could develop with that person, and it leaves me open. Because I'm telling you, I've talked about this before. I've did streams on it. Whatever respect is, it's a very peculiar, particular emotion. But whatever it is, it happens between two humans sometimes. And when it does, when it's real, it is like striking gold or oil. Hang on to that shit. That is one of the most valuable things you could have in your like interpersonal account. So if you start to feel genuine respect for someone and that gets reciprocated, and it usually does because the act of building respect is like these little moments of shared respect between you over time. So it's very rare that you have respect for somebody but they don't have respect for you back if you've developed it through getting to know each other in collaboration. It it don't fuck with respect. It's worth more than money, more than any immediate short-term advantage or gain or opportunity. Like respect the respect, and it will pay off for you. It will respect you back. Maybe not monetarily, but the whole universe goes out of whack for me when people start fucking around with respect. It's too sacred. It's like one of the most sacred emotions I think I've felt. I've had it for very few people, but it's powerful when it's there. You talking about respect? I don't know, or it could lead to a healthy submission because I think it's easier to be like bend to people that you have respect for or that you have trust with. But I'm learning to do it with people I can't stand. I'm learning to do it with my enemies. I'm learning to if you're on this Panelverse, it's not a roller coaster. It's like the Tilt-A-Whirl or one of those rides where they kind of just do this with you the whole time. When you're on one of those, like the teacups, um, you assess each moment and you ask yourself, this person that I'm in this wave with right now, does it is it to either of our advantage to fight or have conflict, or can we just like submit to the process together and see where it goes? And some usually in the Panelverse, that's more of the right answer. Conflict is rigid. Old conflict. I've lost the picture. I did. It didn't go with the new aesthetic. It was too swampy. I hate to say I've discovered there is such a thing. Um, when you have conflict from the past that's unresolved and it just keeps coming up, and that's the thing that you're bringing, the dominant thing that you're trying to impose on the experience. That's rigid. That's a form of rigidity. And the Panelverse is flow. And it's a flow that's going to win out over rigidity almost every time. And so if you find yourself looping on some conflict, consider consider just letting that go and submitting to a flow without that conflict happen, or loosening up that conflict just a bit. I've been able to do that on here with people that I thought I'd never talk to again. I just had nothing but contempt and disgust for them. But if you both submit to that flow together, it's bigger than each one of you. It's bigger than your will. It's bigger than whatever you're trying to impose or dominate the situation with. And when I learned to let that go and just say, fuck it, let me just submit to this, whatever's happening here. That was the right choice. Peace started to happen, healing started to happen, growth. So if you can do it with your enemies, there's no reason for this bullshit conflict among people that otherwise have shown an ability to be friends and work together. Well, I have gone an hour. These little morning streams are meant to be, we kind of set the vibe for the day. We go over what the streams are going to look like. It's open panel. People can come up and get support or talk about what they need to talk about. But this is a channel oriented on personal growth. So the morning we do like a little vibe. Also jazzercise, which I might do a little bit more of before we end. And then the midday stream is, I'm going to eventually put that behind a paywall. That's our educational learning stream. It's kind of a workshop. You can bring your problems. We do problem solving. We build tools that we can apply to our personal growth and our interpersonal goals. We build community. And then in the evening, we do a little community campfire where we come around. It's not a completely an open panel. It's structured. We want to keep it focused on what's going on with us. We want to tell stories, connect with each other. So it's not just random conversation. And then in the evening, every now and then, I do a open panel. No, I wasn't around in 2016. I was watching from the other side. I was watching other YouTubers and amazed at this, like, wow, ordinary people can get on this thing and like share information and talk about stuff. That's amazing. But I never had the idea of being one of those people ever. That happened during lockdown when I had to like transfer everything I was doing in the real world onto the internet. That's when it started. Look, it just, again, it's the aesthetic. It's the gay in me. I have to put aesthetic above everything else. But very patriotic, and even the Acadian flag. This is the Cajun flag. If you go to Louisiana, this is what you're going to see hanging everywhere. So I have both. I'm Cajun American. Da-da-da-da-da-da. There's probably a song for that. Speaking of, we can flag our size. All right, let me get round 2 going. And Frank, did you say there was another short? Come on. Get your booties pumping. Get back on your feet. You know you need it as much as I do. If not for physical health, definitely mental, psychological health. Here's cherry soda pop and flagger size. I'm not sure what your flag is, Goblin. Have I seen it? It's like color guard. I have a color guard story. I can tell. I had a friend that was in color guard, and we were tripping on mushrooms one night and playing different music. And every single track I put on, he would make some color guard routine too and start acting it out. a punk color guard, gothic color guard, and I'm like, damn, is there anything I could put on that you can't come up with a color guard routine to it? He's like, no, I promise you, there's not. And so the whole night, the challenge was to find a song that this guy could not imagine a flag routine to. And I think he won. I don't think there was one. I put on noise, Japanoise. I put on old, like, hillbilly folk music from like the 1920s. He mastered all of it. Beautiful ceremony with flags, every single one of those songs. A red and black and white flag. What does it represent? This is me leading the way and laying the groundwork, but eventually the goal is to have other people on panel jazzercising with us. And this is the 70s porno music, by the way, that I got AI to create. Yes, it is a guy on YouTube wearing a satanic t-shirt, waving an American flag, jazzercising to 70s porno music created by an artist of AI, machine learning. This is the future. Not only you're watching it, you're in it. You're here for it. You're participating in it. Submit to it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. And it's going to be healthy. All right, I guess that's it for our little jazzercise. This is good. Whoever came up with this jazzercise idea, and I forgot who it was. It was a good one. Thank you. All right, hang on. Let me social media real quick. So I'll probably wind down, I guess, if nobody else is going to come up. Is that copyrighted? The thing you just sent me? All right. Well, anyway, if there's one takeaway for today, it's if you're on YouTube, hang it out in the Panelverse, and I mean in the very broad sense of just any kind of open panel where random people get together. Check in with your body. If you're feeling that heat, that want to fight, that fury, or if you're feeling rigid, if you're feeling like you can't flow, see if maybe you're trying to over-dominate. Where everything, StreamYard just released a new feature where you can do both at once. So you're going to start seeing a lot of streamers now go vertical and horizontal at the same time. We're bi-directional. I don't know all of your Canadian weird stuff that you try to smuggle onto this channel. Yeah, Joe, did you know that? You and Landry are a team. We're worried. We're very worried because y'all have already worked together. And you have the biggest audience on YouTube of anybody. I know you like to come here and play stealth and all low key, and I'm just one of you guys, but you are a titan, dude, and you know it. Cat among the pigeons. All right, let's see. Oh, Frank, can I do this? You know what? We're going to end on Frank's opera chicken. Oh, did we play it? Muka? I guess I forgot to play it. Muka apoyo aparestici. I can't wait for this one. Watch y'all's ears. All right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to end with the opera chicken. I'll be out later today for the workshop portion of our channel where we dig deeper into some of these tools for surviving the Panelverse and thriving in it. And the tool today, I think, is going to be a little lens to kind of test for that rigidity and that dominance and figure out when we need to pull back and yield to the flow. So And Goblin, let's talk. We got to get these ideas. We got a lot of worthy competition, and it's bringing out the evil troll demon in me, which competition often does, because I want to win, and I don't care how much blood I have to draw to do it. But I'm also trying to build community, so I think if we focus on our thing and not so much on the competition, I think that's the way to go. All right, I'll hit you up in this morning. Here is Frank. If you like opera, I don't. I personally hate opera, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Frank does with it, with his Barnyard duet. I like it already. All right, I'm gonna go off camera.
Pollo marrone, mucca marrone. Ehi, è il momento sexy, sexy. Il momento sexy, sexy, il momento sexy, sexy. Pollo marrone, mucca marrone, pollo marrone, mucca marrone, pollo marrone, mucca marrone, sì. Scendi! Pollo marrone, mucca marrone. Pollo marrone, mucca marrone. Pollo marrone, mucca marrone. Pollo marrone, mucca marrone.
Wow, I am bold. I don't even like opera. Oh, I'm. You know what? I'm just gonna submit. Just submit to that experience. Wow. Philip, good to see you. I was actually thinking about that the other day. Have we outgrown the outliers concept? That's why I'm kind of like like tilting it toward this Satyrs Grove thing, since that was my business concept in the beginning. So it's already shifting aesthetically. But I've been thinking about that too. What my plan is, I'm trying to build that inner circle. So as I find the people that want to commit more and more to these values and what I'm doing here and be part of helping the channel grow for real. I think we're going to come up, that's the conversation we're going to have. Is it time for a rebrand, a name change? Because we want a brand that's going to bring in people for what I'm doing here now, which is the growth stuff, more than the I'm a misfit in society stuff. Do you? I was not pleased with it at all. It was very frustrating keeping up two audiences. The vertical side brought in all these new people that were doing all kind of random stuff. I had to ban a few people. I got troll audio bombed by a troll, or he tried to. He didn't know how over the target he actually was. I like the Forge. I'm probably gonna put that behind the paywall, and that's gonna be our extra layer of geekiness for people that want to go a little deeper. And then the community stuff, like the evening campfire, the morning coffee, the kind of lounge, the more loose lounge stuff we do at night. I think I'm gonna keep, because that's gonna bring in people for the community part, and then those that want to go another level deep will have the midday stream if they want to pay the $4.99 a month, which to me is a bargain. And then we're also doing other things like the Panelverse collaboration contest and trying to hook up with other channels. We want to eventually build a little network of channels that are doing a similar thing or trying to keep a similar vibe going. So I'm still mostly a one-man show, but I am getting a lot of creative support and like I guess moral support from the people in the community. So that's enough to keep it going. And good to see you. I see you've changed your name, Team Philip. All right, I think that's it for me this morning. I'll be out later today for the workshop. And we'll get some more tools to help us kind of learn when we're dominating. Like I think several things. We need to become aware of when our dominance is in play because I don't always know that the thing I think I'm trying to do that's helping someone or is for the good is actually coming out of my need to dominate or my impulse to dominate. And so learning that, detecting that, and then learning when to recognize those moments when the dominance is actually a hindrance and interference. And the better thing to do at the time is to submit to a process that's bigger than any of us. And for some people, that might be the scary part or the challenging part. And so maybe some tools for that. Those two things. Recognizing your own dominant nature and it's your will when you're trying to impose your will or being a control freak or expecting reality to be the fantasy version instead of the version it's going to be because you have no control over it. I think that's a common thing, especially for men. We want to put our mark on the world, leave our legacy. And we have to fight other men to do it because we're all trying to do it. We're all trying to paint on the same canvas. And so that's going to create a lot of battles for dominance. Even in the animal kingdom, they have ways of negotiating it, navigating it. But what I'm learning is there are moments when, and the key, the skill, is identifying when those moments are, recognizing them from the other moments. When submitting is actually the more powerful option and the stronger option, and is the option that's going to gain you the greater advantage, empower you more, and get you closer to your goal. And it seems counterintuitive, and I think as men we get caught up in we're shutting ourselves out of some options that could really benefit us just because we might get caught into this idea of always be dominating all the time. Well, I mean, I can see why. I'm just kidding. I hope we're not making it worse. Yeah, I suffered. Not lies. This trips me up constantly. I think people are here, and so I aim here, and they're really way over here, and I'm constantly missing the mark of where I think their skill is versus to where it actually is. I ran into this in the classroom as a teacher because I thought the kids were like up here with the skill, and they were way underdeveloped, and I had to work them up to where I thought they were very quickly. Yeah, you don't seem like you have any shortage of confidence in your beliefs, that's for sure. You have that one mastered. We could get a tool or two from you in that area. All right, thanks for hanging out, people. This was fun, interesting, the vertical thing. And I'll be out later today. Have a good Monday. Have a good week. Yay, gays. We're here to stay. We have our marriages. Thank you, Supremes. Our government might be cranking back into operation soon. And I am out of here. Happy Monday. See you later.